it's not ever gonna look the same, but at least I want to see what's
Which
right
road
over it.
are we talking about?
I talk about it on Hollow Garden Road, right in front of the elementary school.
So why did they drill holes in it?
That is, Atmos came back and drilled some
Bunch of
holes.
holes.
That road was actually, after the Atmos, I believe that one came after Atmos came through their whole 6 or 8 contractor crews, so that road was not put on, so they're doing some spot repair at the moment. Just right there, right across from the school there.
And I've seen a bunch of painted areas on Roberts Cutoff.
Yeah,
Past the boulevard, what are they gonna do there?
They're not supposed to cut, yeah. Like,
They've got some-
CBS.
Yeah, right down there, they got stuff painted.
I think it's something going underneath.
That's gotta be a fiber optics or
Fiber
something
optics.
boring underneath.
Okay.
They're not opening up, Robert. I promise you.
We need security down there.
No, they're not.
Is there anything to learn from the Ohio Garden, though? Is there any, do we need to give them advance notice of?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, and that's something we did, we are on page with Atmos now. We do give them a list of any streets that we may even think about trying to do in the next year or so, and they'll go through their system to double check the utilities and go through before us. And all that. They've been great throughout this process, getting on a lot of these projects. They put us, front and center, which was awesome, because they knew the magnitude of roads we were repairing.
People, it doesn't seem that way to the neighbors.
I know, I understand.
They show up and then they disappear for weeks or months.
I get calls, I get probably 5 to 10 calls a day.
And that's just Liam.
Jeremy, we might update them on what you told us this morning, staff, about the street signs.
Street signs, new street signs started installation yesterday. We do have those phased out in sections, so you will see eventually in your neighborhood new street signs being put up. So if you get any calls, when is my street? It's coming, I promise. I'm waiting on one more order to come in, another 150 signs. They're waiting on material, and then as soon as they get that, I'll have every single sign for the city in. And I do have a sign installation program in effect right now.
If we could just double check the height, I know I've mentioned
10 feet.
before, but the one at River Oaks Boulevard and Merritt on the north side is about maybe 6 foot
Okay.
at best.
And that's stuff that he's also implementing with his sign program.
Is what?
Is the height and
Okay. So you think maybe the original sign was that?
correct.
Yeah, but I didn't know that it was bigger. The original
Right.
sign was double this size.
So technically it's a 12-foot pole with 2 feet in the ground, 10 foot high is what you
Okay.
get from ground up is 10 foot.
Okay.
That's the Texas standard,
Okay.
Code standard.
2 feet. We do farm fence posts 4 feet in the ground. Just saying. I do want to say, I heard there were comments made that we should not be doing the rest of the signs, that they were fine the way they were, and by key people in the city. I do want to just say, this is one of those little things that makes everything cohesive and look nice. And so, whoever kept pushing forward with it, I appreciate it, because those are the details that matter. So,
our citizens are loving that. They've actually been asking when are they going to get theirs, and I tell them that it's coming. Just give us time.
Well, originally when I got here, I was like, where's the 100 bucks on the sign, Jim? I was lost in River Up trying to figure out, where's the 100 bucks? Where's the 100 bucks? So that was kind of my push for some new street signs, updating.
I love them.
The company I worked with, they're awesome, and they give us a great design.
I can't wait for y'all to get done.
We're working on it. Thankfully for the EDC, they helped fund this project, which is great.
I still didn't get my update today.
It's in the saved draft, sir.
And then the old signs will be up for sale once you get the new ones up.
And that's another thing, we will not sell any signs until we're completely done, and then we'll have everything, and then I'll get with Marvin, we'll decide how all that's
Yeah, that was a mess the last
It
time.
was a mess.
Oh, yeah, that's not.
It was a mess, so,
I've got people calling.
yes, so we're just trying to alleviate
Well, I
that.
think that makes it fair. you know,
Yeah,
that
correct.
For everyone to have
Correct.
to start at the same time.
Right. I have a question, it's a little bit off what we're talking about, but, somebody asked about, when can they get, the streets relined, you know, like, the yellow lines or the white lines, whatever. Stripes, there you go. Couldn't think of-
Which street?
I think it's by the school, it has to be one by the school.
Okay, on Roberts Cutoff.
Mhm.
So originally, that was in our, it's in our street bond.
Okay.
It's kind of merging with that meandering road
Oh,
project.
okay.
So as soon as we get a full schedule either way, then as soon as that's done, it'll be restriped.
Are we talking about striping or taping?
Striping.
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 You never know, like, where, what side.
Do you have a time frame of that, so when they ask her again, she can say 30 days?
I honestly, I do not.
I just say it's coming. Just give
It is
a little
coming.
patience.
Yes, it is.
Patience.
Before the new school year.
And if not, we'll put something down. The county's gonna come in, Tarrant County will come in, they're gonna do some striping for us, after, I think in the next 2 months. So,
What about that coating we were talking about? Wouldn't we want to have the coating down before we striped it?
yes, and that's part of it, there's like a 3-part process to that, so, definitely.
Sound like you're on it.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks, Jeremy.
Thank you.
All right, moving on, I got, the ballot proofs have all been approved, and Tarrant County's, working on that now. So we're through that part of it. I did, send out a fact sheet on the special election to all of you, to look at, the attorney's looking at it. I do have it online, but then before I get it all translated and everything like I'm supposed to, I was waiting on my attorney to respond. So as soon as that happens, I'll move on.
Shouldn't be long, Mark. Very close. In large part, it's really good. And we were talking earlier, just a few sentences we want to make sure we feel comfortable with, so there's no issues, and we're ready to go soon.
The park master plan, I actually closed the survey on the 10th. I kept it up on the website for anybody that wanted to do it for a little while longer. Matter of fact, it's still under resources. If you know anybody wants to fill it out, because they're on spring break this week, so if I can get some more to them, we've got over 300 right now. And I should know more about that next week. You know about the Crudmobile and shredding event that is going to be on April 1st, here in the City Hall parking lot this year,
What are those hours?
9 to 11.
And that is just for our residents, they do
Yes,
have
it's
show
just for
water.
they have to show water bill. And then, the one thing that I went on and did, we have done this discarded tires since James presented it back in, I think, 2017. We've been doing this every year. I didn't know if everybody was aware of that we pick it up in March and in April. Jeremy has found a grant with Tarrant County, and it sounds like we're going to get up to whatever it costs for us to get these tires discarded this next 2 months, so it's not going to be an impact to the city.
Great.
And I'd like to continue on with it every year, but I can bring it back to you annually if you want, but we haven't brought it back to you since 2019.
Are they recycling it?
They're reimbursing us for payment,
I know what.
and it's through COG.
Yeah, we don't know what's happening.
Is there a limit
I thought they were
on
picking them up
No, sir.
continuously, were not?
No, sir. Well, the residents do pay a fee throughout the year, but for March and April, it's free for the residents.
So you're saying residents pay us a fee, you mean?
Yes.
So if they put them out there in July,
Per tire, it's,
then we take notes and we come in here and tell them to bill them and?
yes, sir.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Does that work? Do they pay?
Yes, sir.
No? Okay. I guess they add it to the water bill, or what?
No, come,